Well, forget about running the world for a while and escape with us to an island where no one hurries for trains, to an island where the relaxed days just amble past. To Corfu, a small island to the west of the Greek mainland on the sea route to Italy. Once the island was famous for the richness of its trade. Once the world came to Corfu to buy and wonder, but those days are gone. Now the island is content to dream and remember. Spinning wool and dreams together has been the occupation of a woman since earliest times. She draws out the thin threads, and as the spindle twists, it binds them together in a way that is as good as any modern machine. It's simple, uncomplicated, and what better job is there for an old woman's hands sitting on the step on a warm afternoon? Corfu is very fertile, so it's no surprise when the locals want a dessert after their dinner, they simply go out and pick a pear off a tree. Well, not exactly a pear or a tree. In fact, it's a cactus, and they're prickly pears, and delicious, if you like that sort of thing. What they don't eat will be on sale tomorrow. There are no large towns apart from the capital. Instead, the island is full of small villages. There, everyone knows everyone else. And in a land of plenty, strangers are welcomed. Odysseus rested here on his long journey. In later years, when tides of invasion and war swept over Corfu, they brought many who fell in love with the island, and they stayed. In another century, an English earl started a university. Like so many other islands in the Mediterranean, different peoples have left souvenirs of their stay. A Roman wall, a Venetian cannon, a lovely French arcade. But the plans of great generals and statesmen have been long forgotten in the warm, drowsy afternoons. An island protected by a betraying sea. These waves, gently whispering along the shore, brought from afar merchants and conquerors, refugees and visitors in search of wealth or comfort. And today's visitors are just the same. On these ivory-clean beaches, they relax and swim and play. For years, Corfu has been a favorite holiday home for the Greek royal family. Here, too, European emperors found welcome solitude and relaxation. Prince Philip was born on the island, a link with Britain of which the islanders are proud. The main town, Kakira, was built as a fortress. Most of the outer fortifications have long crumbled, but the pattern they imposed is there still. Within the wider modern streets, the city is a labyrinth of narrow, winding passageways. High buildings lean across almost to touch heads. Here in the town, away from the hot, open hills, the houses with their dark rooms are cool and welcoming. In the tradition of the Isles of Greece and of centuries of trading and commerce, the shops are open whenever there are customers to buy. And most of the wares are traditional too. The eggs, the olives, the dried fish, and hard peasant bread. The true wealth from an island which in long centuries has seen kings and peasants, victories and occupations, yet has remained faithful to the Greek ideal. This is Corfu. In the dark blue straits between Italy and Greece lies Corfu, said to be the most beautiful of all the Greek islands. Here on the Mediterranean playground, visitors from all over the world can guarantee to relax and have fun in an atmosphere of sun, sand and sea. you're cold and fed up with the wintry weather, join us on a trip to the sun. Through thousands of years, travelers have come to the island by boat. It still seems the best way, particularly if there's a welcome like this waiting for them. No, it's not the South Seas, it's just your fellow holidaymaker's idea of dressing up for an occasion. Guests wear just what they wish, though the most popular fashions seem to be suggested by the West Indies or the South Pacific. But the greeting, the same the world over, is the nicest way we know of introducing yourself. The welcome hasn't always been like this, though. Corfu has seen the arrival of conquering armies, the French, Venetians and British. Today, its charm and customs conquer all who visit. Guests sleep in Polynesian-type huts built of straw and bamboo, ideal for the warm nights. But during the day, they relax where they like. For instance, for some there's pétanque, a kind of bowls, which is fun whether you play or watch. For others, there's pleasure in sitting and doing just nothing. They've solved the problem of where to keep your money, too. No one has pockets. You buy a string of beads, native fashion, and to pay for the drinks, you just pull a couple of them off. To sun worshippers, places like this are paradise. Generation after generation has found something new here. Deep in the clear waters lies a secret history of galleons and men of war, of galleys and kites, sunk by storms or battle within grasping distance of safety. This is how life was meant to be enjoyed. All day long there's sunshine, so why wear anything but a swimsuit? The more you wear, the more there is to wash and iron. And who wants to do that when the days are already sailing by far too quickly?
From traditional regalia to the intricate craftsmanship that goes into these beautiful costumes of Greece. Here, on the lovely island of Corfu, it's one of the chief tourist delights to watch the celebrated grace and pace of the national dancing. This is the Castello Mimbelli, once a favorite summer retreat of King George II of Greece, and now an up-to-date hotel which still retains the nobility and charm of the past. Literally dancing for joy are these local girls who keep alive the steps their great-grandmothers learned from history. So old are some of these dances that the locals have forgotten their significance. But what has significance or reason to do with the natural happiness displayed here? Happiness is the keynote of Corfu, probably because nobody finds it very difficult to achieve. Who could help tapping his foot and smiling back at the pretty girls who offer such a lavish entertainment of sight and sound? If they spurn the violin at the Palais, they certainly can't do without it here. The hot fiddle invites high kicks, while surely the hot fiddler invites a drink. The men can resist such gaiety no longer. With a whirl, they break into the circle with an exhibition to make the Cossacks look to their laurels. How fascinating to see people enjoying their dancing to such an extent. They obviously haven't been told it's fashionable to look miserable. But then, who could look miserable in such an atmosphere as this?